Hi YouTube, welcome back to the channel and the Mission Maker series, episode number 4 of our CAS little mission series here. So, number 4 is we're going to try to bulk out the mission a little bit. So we've got our targets in place, we've got our Reapers doing their thing. So now we just need to make the mission come alive a little bit really. You know, it's still quite a sterile environment with not a lot going on in the grand scheme of things really. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set up a pair of F-16s here doing also a cap that we're going to take over from once we come into the point. So once we hit Reaper spawn point, the F-16s that are already on station will transit back home, and so we've sort of effectively taken over from them. So let's go ahead and select our F-16s, and let's pop them in here. And I want to, in fact, let's just let's call these the exit. No, let's call these CAS Group 1. And they can operate under Viper 1.1 and Viper 1.2. And they're going to be doing the CAS as well. Formation trail, no, let's get rid of that. I don't know why it always selects trail as default. It's like the worst formation to be in. Be echelon right, fairly open. Yeah, open's fine. They can be up at 25,000 feet. Let's give them a. So also we want to select the aircraft that they are. So obviously they'd probably be the same sort of squadron, and they can be. To give them something like that. They don't have to look super like detailed or anything like that, because effectively all we're doing is just taking over from them. And so they can just come up here like so. And at waypoint 1, add form task orbit racetrack, 430 knots, and a stop condition of no, I'm not 100% sure what that means. So I'll just do this. I'm going to set them up on a racetrack pattern for 45 minutes. But if we hit this point before the 45-minute point, then now we'll push them towards another, towards the next waypoint after that. So after waypoint 2, they're then going to fly down here and start routing in back home. And go ahead and land. That's again for number 2. In a half-glass scheme. For some reason it's not showing the weapons there, for whatever reason. But anyhow, I'm not going to lose sleep too much. And they could be maybe 2 times JDAMs. That's number 1. That's number 2. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So I then want them to have a push. So perform command. Switch to waypoint number 3 in effect there. Okay, so I can put this in so CAS Group 1 RTB. It's only going to happen once, and we want if unit is inside zone. So CAS mission pilot number 1 is inside Reaper spawn point. Then it's going to be AI task push. Just going to switch to waypoint 3. And they'll begin their transit home, and obviously we will begin our transit into our area of responsibility of taking over from them. Again, it's nothing serious, it's just going to, just bulk out the mission a little bit. Just add a bit of something else to it, I suppose. But what I am going to do is, because I don't want them to, if it gets to a point where these targets are already spawning in before we get there, I don't want them to engage anything, because otherwise, they're just taking it away from me effectively, doing my job for me. So let's change this to set option. So ROE, rule of engagement, weapons hold. So they should not engage any target in there whatsoever, which is what we want, which is perfect. So I'm also going to have a set of F-18s just here doing an orbit as well. They're not going to do anything, but it's just, you'll see them as we fly in. This will be their effective area of operation, or area of responsibility. So let's just call this F-18 CAS group. But again, it fills the sky a little bit and makes it a little bit more interesting, I suppose, rather than having nothing out there. So again, 25,000 feet. Oh no, let's maybe have these down at like 22,000 feet, doing 400 knots. Okay, he's going to be doing CAS. Since I'm not going to have these, with any remove payload there. Remove payload, because these aren't going to do anything really, so there's no need for them to have any ordnance fitted, to be honest. Who do we want them to be? Which VFA? I quite like that one. That VFA 97. No, but no particular reason, just I do. And they can be Pontiac 4-1. Flight of 3 F-18s for these. Trail, no, edit. Let's have these in a wedge formation, open. And again, they're just going to be doing a cap, really. So the bulk out sort of part of the mission is always, I don't know, it's always not as interesting as much. Sometimes, and then there's other times when it is quite fun. Then these are also going to return to the aircraft carrier once they've finished as well. So, because we're also in our kill box area, we're not too far away. How far away are we from our forward operating base? 20 odd miles. It's not too far, really, I suppose. We could maybe have some helicopters flying around doing a bit of business, because as well we've also got a forward operating base up here that we could put some aircraft in as well, if we want to. So yeah, let's go ahead and put in a helicopter. Maybe let's put in a Chinook. Take off from a ramp. Oh, you mother! It's gone ahead and changed it for me, isn't it? So let's go ahead and change this to ground, actually, because I don't want it to go from there. It's a bit too far away from the territory that I want them to operate in. I suppose he is quite a large aircraft there, and I'm going to have him fly down to the forward operating base to 1200 feet. He's going to route down to there. Maybe he's going to Fly down this way. Then you can land there. Springfield one's fine. And then let's have a Black Hawk, shall we? H60 Alpha. Take off from ramp. What scheme do we want? Yeah. Do we want the mod one, or do we just want this one? Because I think this one's just got the green. Yeah, I can use this one. So maybe we'll have this one maybe late activated, and you can start at some point in the mission. Maybe everyone set off at the same time as that spawn. We enter that spawn point. So yeah, we can have him fly this way. Maybe I don't know. That's about 1,000 feet. Doing 100 knots. Should be all right doing that, I would have thought. He's just going to fly around. It'll take him about a good hour. You know, he's not the quickest unit in the world. You can come back and land. So that's rotary 2 triggers. We'll put them under the same thing. Once we enter that mission, then group activate. Rotary 2, which is fine. Maybe as I will have something set up from here. Yeah. Yeah, set up something down here. Again, we'll have. Let's have 2 Apaches. Take off from ground, like so. So obviously this is the Bobby Dazzler Apache that they put out. Rocks on one side, then they can have Hellfires on the other side. So I've given 4 Hellfires there. 2 of them. Let's move number 2 over there, like so. Again, these will be late activated. And we could put some variation in here if we wanted to, but I'm not too fussed about them because we're operating quite high up. The likelihood is we're not going to see them really. Yeah, 300. But they are just going to add a bit of clutter, so we'll probably see them on our radar, that sort of thing. So yeah, maybe they can fly around at, I don't know, 1,300 feet. Kind of like maybe just follow the river up a little bit. And then they can route in towards forward operating base up here. In there. And maybe we'll put these to activate at some point in the mission, something like at that point as well. It's going to group activate rotary 3, because these aren't fixed to anything else. This target number 4 will spawn in. It's just the timing that I put it in against there. That's on delayed activation, yeah, which is fine. Yeah. Maybe as well we'll have. Let's have So C-130. He can fly in like he's going to do a cargo drop of some sort, maybe. Because he's quite a slow aircraft anyway. Maybe he's going to be at like 15,000 feet. 350 knots. Put it back onto what it's supposed to, what it can only do. So let's say C-130 flight 1, just in case we put more flights in. And you can be heavy 1-1. Like he can maybe fly up here, something like that. Fly around there like so. And then route away. Not bothered where he goes and lands in the end then. Excuse me, sorry. Something like that. So you can start straight away. Then maybe we'll have a set of F-15s here, F-15Cs in the middle here, maybe doing like a cap combat patrol type thing, seeing as though there are other players in the area, such as Russians and Syrians. Although this is just IS controlled territory rather than coalition controlled territory. So you want some sort of air defence assets in play, just to give you that bit of top cover, I suppose. So F-15Cs. So let's just call these AA cap. And what scheme do we want them to have? What scheme do we like? Let's face it, they're not going to be aggressors. Yeah, that can be these guys. Maybe. Yeah. They can also have some form of short range missiles as well. Whilst they do their thing, and they can be Uzi 5-1, something like that. That'll be up at like 20,000 feet, 450 knots. So these guys are just effectively just in place to protect, in theory, the other players that are in the field. Let's get advanced. Add set option, perform task, orbit racetrack at 450 knots ground speed, and they can do that for I don't know, like 40 minutes. And then go to, after waypoint 2, they can go to the tanker. So it's really annoying that I've got a fly in the room for some reason, and it's just peeing me off like you would not believe. Then after waypoint 3, come back down here to waypoint 4. Once he's at waypoint 4, then set option, no, perform command, switch waypoint back to waypoint number 1, and then it'll just continue the cycle, and it'll just keep going and going and going, rather than creating loads of different flights coming in all the time. It's just no need really. So we have 2 of them. Let's just set their formation. So they will probably be, I would assume, set option, formation. Echelon right's fine. Yeah, it can be fairly open. Open's probably more realistic, I'd assume. Gives them better coverage. So let's just move that back to closer to my point 1 like that. You see, yeah, it's starting to build up now. Yeah, it's got those layers. Let's put in some Russian stuff coming through as well. So it's going to start up here. Right, did I late activate that? It's the F-15s. No, good. So maybe there'll be some sort of fairly big-ish Russian aircraft coming through. What did I want it to be? Maybe it's cargo. Can just be cargo, I suppose. Russian. Transit 1. So it's not going to do anything, but it just adds a little bit of something. It's going to be about like 30,000 feet. And then 40 knots ground speed. That's only going to give me that anyway. I don't know how fast they fly in real life. Just a guess, really, more than anything. And you can route us into his place. But I will make him late activated. And maybe he can spawn in at the same time as that dude. That's clone. So Russian Transit 1. So I don't know, maybe he's coming in from like Iran or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Obviously we've got our already predefined clutter from the template about the neutral flights and when they're going to spawn in and stuff. So again, there could be some Russian type aircraft, some Syrian type aircraft maybe. Yeah. Motor, Tabcar. So we have some Syria. And this is just the time-consuming part now, really. It's just getting everything in place. No, not necessarily that aircraft. That chippy chopper. I don't really know which helicopter I'm looking for. Might be under Russian, maybe, actually. That's the one. That's the one I'm looking for. But there should be a Syrian scheme in it there. Yeah, something like that. So take off from ramp. Ground level. Maybe like 2,000 feet of ground level. It's a fairly slow mover. maybe he can. We'll have him route down to. There's your. Let's have him land, refuel for 15 minutes, and then he's going to fly back. Maybe he'll come this way instead this time. Again, I could put in some randomization with this, but again, you know, just at some point, how far do you go with it? At the same time as well, chances are you're probably not going to see them anyway, just because of where we'll probably be operating in and at the altitudes we're operating. You know, if we get called over here to go and kill this guy, we're not going to see him really, so the chances of seeing him are pretty slim. But still, it just adds a little bit of something, I suppose. So he'll be hidden on the map, hidden on planner. We would see him on the MFD, so I want to keep that one checked. Hidden on the map, hidden on the planner. So that's fine. Yeah, it's just, it built it up a little bit. What other aircraft have we got? So blue, look at the blue forces. In fact, it's so let's also add some. French are usually pretty good at getting involved in things. Suck at winning things, mind, but some Rafales. Going to come in from down here. Do some sort of casserole. Eventually it should load up. Honestly, my machine's just slowly dragging itself down. Pain in the arse. Here we go. There's no predefined weapons pods. I guess they probably have the targeting pod. Fuel tanks. The big jugs on. Yeah, and just put them in the airspace really, more than anything. Yeah, let's give them that. About 3. Okay. I'm going to make them not engage because I don't want them to come in and kill my targets. RE. Okay, so they can return fire if some aircraft comes in and tries to kill them, but other than that, stay away. They can be about like 30,000 feet. They can be forward 6-1. 2 of them, trail, nope. They can go finger 4, but they can go open. And they will be late activated, then maybe they can come up. I don't know, maybe they'll have them operate here. A little bit further in front, so you know, effectively saying that this might be their kill box. Or whichever. You get the idea anyway. Just makes the sky that bit busier. Set condition for 30 minutes. Then after 30 minutes, I'm going to come down to their tanker. And add refuel. And then they'll head back. And perform command. Switch to waypoint and switch to waypoint 2. And begin the cycle again. Don't know why I got put as a trigger like that. I just wanted to do it automatically. Yeah, you know, just bit of something. Again, because we've already got the random stuff in the background anyway from the template, I don't need to add too much more realistically. You know, because it is already a bit more of a busier piece of sky anyway. So I'm going to save it there. Alright guys, I think that is it really for the mission. As always, go ahead and give us a like and subscribe. It really does help the channel if you enjoyed it. And if anybody wants this mission, let me know and I'll upload it to the DCS file library. Until next time, I shall see you later. Goodbye.